Hi, I'm Nina from B96, trying to decide whether to eat my popcorn or talk to you. But I'm so excited right now because love is in the air. Can you feel it? Rom-coms are back. Have you heard of the new movie, Crazy Rich Asians?
Do something crazy!
I chose to raise a family. For me, it was a privilege. But for you, you may think it's old-fashioned.
Don't you want Nick to be happy?
I know you're not what Nick needs.
She's like trying to play a game of chicken with me, thinking I'm gonna swerve like a chicken.
But you can't swerve. You gonna roll up and be like,
Bok bok, bitch.
okay, maybe like not as aggressive.
So good. The cool part is I had a chance to talk to the director, John M. Chu, and the leading man, Henry Golding, when they were just here in Chicago. First of all, loved the movie, by the way.
Yay,
It's so fun to sit here and formally talk about it since we are old friends, just hanging out on a yacht.
That's what we do.
Sunbathing.
And it's what we all
Drinking
do.
mimosas.
We all have a nice little glow from that sun.
I'm actually a little sunburned, so I'm feeling the tang.
So the big storyline, of course, with this movie that everybody's talking about, it's the first film that is predominantly an Asian cast. But so then take me to that very first day on set when you guys are all together and you're like, wow, we're really gonna do this now. What was that day like?
It was emotional. I didn't expect it, to be honest. It was like just another movie, and then everyone's sitting there looking at each other, and everyone's in different types of characters. Some are comedic, some are heroes, some are villains, and we're looking at each other like, wow, we get to play our best and dress the best, and the camera's gonna wait for us to finish our makeup and make sure the lighting looks best on our skin.
Yeah.
That's an amazing, a small thing, but amazing thing that people were crying on set for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. And then for you, Henry, it was your first time on set.
Totally,
It was your
yeah.
first time, so maybe not everybody realizes that you weren't really doing acting before this film.
No, I was a travel host, so I was a presenter for junkets. So I used
Yeah,
to sit where
do
you
what we
sit
do.
right now. I mean, the experience when John got in touch, I had kind of sort of I didn't audition for it because I didn't think I was ready to sort of get into acting, but when John got in contact and we Skyped, we had like this hour-long conversation, and I related to John so much, and he had been to Sarawak, where I'm from in Malaysia. I was like, there's too many coincidences. You know what? I'm just gonna give it my all, audition and see how far we can take this. And
Yeah.
we're here.
And look at me now.
Believe it? Wow.
The movie's great, so funny, it makes you cry, it does all of those things, but I think that I get really fascinated by the personal side, especially as the director. You felt that you related so much to the story. So in directing, were there certain characters or certain things that you brought in that, like, from your personal life, from
for
home?
sure, for sure. I mean, being an Asian American, going to Asia for the first time,
Yeah.
where you have no relation to Asia other than your family, was an experience I really wanted to track with Rachel Chu going to Singapore for the first time. Also, dumpling making is something
Yeah.
that our family has done for years and years. My grandma showing us how to do it, making sure we do it correctly.
Sure.
My mother commanding the kitchen with all her sisters and us, the kids.
His
doing
mom
everything.
is fierce.
She is
Ruth
fierce.
Is she?
amazing.
She's scarier than Eleanor in this movie, for sure. 'cause
You're lying.
She will bite
but
your
much
head
more
off.
fun at the same
But
time.
it's fun. It's true.
That's why you have to see the movie, so you can see exactly what
Exactly.
Eleanor's like and have an idea of what your childhood was like.
And I think all people have mothers like this or mother-in-laws, and that's why I think it's a really relatable thing that rather than, it's called Crazy Rich Asians, but it's really for everyone to enjoy because families are nuts.
That's so true. I related to so much of it, other than like the I'm super rich part, but just like the family interaction,
Yeah.
1,000%. And I think that now watching the movie again, meeting the two of you today, and the story brings it to life in a different way. And I just want to touch on this again, Henry, because we talked about how you said you looked everywhere for the
everywhere.
perfect leading man. Where were you when you got that call, Henry?
Well, I started realizing that John was following me on Instagram, and so I saw his sort of like little verified like button come up, and I was like, oh, what does this mean? But I was in Japan. It was like pretty much the first week of January 2017.
Yeah.
And he reached out via a friend, this guy Steve Jang in San Francisco, who's still our friend today. And I kind of was really flustered, but his email was like, oh, I'm still casting for a couple of the roles. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's like a cameo or something. I'd love to like have the experience, but little did I know he had Nick in mind for me.
But you were living in Singapore at the time.
I was
which is
living
crazy.
in Singapore.
Looking all around the world and finding your leading man in the place where your leading man is actually from in the book is insane.
Do I get to make an Asian joke even if I'm not Asian?
Absolutely,
Depends.
Did all the Asians know each other?
Well, it's more and more.
That was
becoming
crazy.
That,
That
right?
was we're like, wait a minute, is this true now?
Small
So,
world.
yes.
But that's really cool to hear how it all came together. Crazy Rich Asians, great movie, August 15th.
August
August
15th.
15th.
Please go see it.
You can see their faces. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
And I forgot to tell you, they're married.